Welcome to our conference call. This is Bill Tabone, Play Harder Tours for the Beer-Centric Traveler. Today we have Mark McHale from Free Walking Tours Howth. And how's everything in Ireland today, Mark?
Hi, Bill. Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, everything's good in Howth today. We've just come off in Ireland a very unique period of weather where we've had our best summer since 1976, longest period without rain and hottest temperatures. So we got to see 30 degrees for the first time in my lifetime. So I'm looking slightly more tan than I think I have in previous years. So yeah, we've a bit of a purple patch, which is great.
Yeah, that 30 degrees, you're talking Celsius. We're not used to that. I don't know what that translates to Fahrenheit, but I would imagine it's warm for you.
It's as warm as we've seen. Yeah. All the green grass in Ireland had turned brown.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I was hoping maybe you could run through some of the things that you do, your tour, the craft beer and seafood trail. Maybe other things that our people might have an interest in. Anyway, please feel free to elaborate.
All right, okay, no worries. Well, obviously I do the Free Walking Tours Howth. It's more or less just the village of Howth is a beautiful scenic village which is only 30 minutes away from Dublin, so it's a little bit of paradise. We've got beaches, we've got a beautiful cliff walk. So most of the tours I do would involve sort of an element of walking around the village, talking about the history of the village. We've obviously had Viking, Norman invasions that happened through here, and then up into the beautiful cliffs that we have in Howth. The other tour that I'm doing that we've been talking about has been the craft beer, local craft beer and seafood tour. So we've a brewery that just opened up about 3 years ago, just down the road. It's called Hope Brewery. And they're obviously trying to get into the market in and around the North Dublin area. They've got 4 great core beers, which I'll talk about slightly later, which are beautiful. And with that, I tried to add on the other element of what people come to Howth for, which is the seafood. So it's the largest fishing harbour in Ireland, many fishing boats, and we've about 30 very cool fish restaurants and fish markets. So I was trying to adapt that into the tour with the craft beers. So hence I started up the craft beer and seafood tour. So basically, we taste the beers in one of the oldest pubs in Howth, the Bloody Stream. We also have some seafood there, and possibly seafood charter or a selection of other seafoods. Walk through the village, looking at the fishing boats, talking to some of the fishermen that are coming off the boats, seeing the catches being landed. And then we head to another one of our restaurants where we sit down and have a larger platter full of the seafood that's been caught locally. So that can be a selection of oysters, Dublin Bay prawns, mussels are very famous around Howth, calamari, and just a selection. Usually I try and pick on the day what's been freshly caught, what's just landed from the day. So it can be a selection of various different seafood around the place. Then again, we go out, have a little walk around, up to another pub where there's another local beer, which isn't linked to Hope. It's actually made purely by this pub themselves, which is called Just Crafty. And we go in there and we have a taste of that as well. So all in all, it's you get a good lot of food and you get an awful lot of drink.
Yeah, sounds marvelous. I'd love to hear more about the brewery if you have a chance to maybe talk about that a bit.
Yeah, well, like I say, it's Hope Brewery. It's just opened up down the road. 4 guys came together. They had a real passion for brewing. They decided that they had the opportunity to leave their jobs and create this brewery. So the brewery itself, like I say, it's just been established for 3 years. They've got 4 core beers. All of them, one's an IPA, which is probably the one that they're pushing the hardest, which is called Handsome Jack, 6.7%. The other one that they have as one of their cores is a lager called Grunt Beer. They also have a Sashon beer, that's the Sashon beer, is the Grunt beer. The lager is Pass If You Can. And the other beer that they have is a blonde ale called Underdog. That's their 4 core beers, but these are guys that are very, very passionate about brewing. So they also bring out limited editions, and that gives them a bit more of a chance to experiment. So when we do the tour, we'll probably taste a lot of these. Ideally, for your group, what I would want to do is actually visit the brewery. Like I say, it's not located too far away, and I know the guys very well. And ideally, what I would want to do is put together a package where we actually go to the brewery, walk around through the processes, see where it's made, and then go up and have a tasting with the guys who are actually there on the ground making it, talking to the brewers.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. That's
Yeah.
exactly what we're looking for. You had mentioned that you're about 30 minutes outside of Dublin. I noticed that there is a train, Dart, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
So is that the best way to get to you?
It's so accessible, yeah. There's a train every 30 minutes from the centre of Dublin that comes to Howth all day and back out again right up until 12 at night. So it's every 30 minutes and it takes 30 minutes by train. It's the easiest way in and out. And like I say, where we start, where the brewery is actually located on the line as well, and so is the first pub that I would typically start the seafood and craft beer. So it's so accessible in and out.
Well, sounds good. Sounds like we could spend the entire day if we wanted to, and I'm sure there are plenty of activities. It'd be a great day trip for us.
Yeah, it would be perfect. Like I say, we can visit the brewery ideally. Obviously, food at some stage with the seafood mix. Like I say, we've got a beautiful island called Ireland's Eye, which is very historic. It's located about 2 miles off Howth, and there's boat trips around it. Ideally, we could take in something like that where we get a boat trip around the island. There's lots of deep history in the island, from Martello towers that were built by the English to fend off Napoleon invasion, to a beautiful old monastery that was created on the island, which where they translated one of the oldest books in Ireland, which is in Trinity College. So a lot of deep history here. And like I say, possibly finish off with a bit of an energetic walk up around the cliffs, see some of the beautiful sights, Dublin Harbour, some of the ferries going back and forward from the UK. So all in all, it's a very good day trip, Howth.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm looking forward to going on the tour, meeting you in person, and having some fun in Ireland, drinking a lot of beer.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, don't worry. I have my own little puppy here is making a bit of noise in the background. Yeah, no, it's a fun place. And like I say, you can't come to Ireland without drinking the beer.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Look forward to seeing you in person. And anyway, we'll touch base in the future. Thank you much.
No worries. Thanks, Bill. Thanks for having me on. Brilliant. Good luck.